Greetings! Today we're talking about recording automations inside the session view of Ableton Live 12. We're going to walk through how to record one, and we're also going to walk through MIDI mapping and how this controller or any MIDI controller can help you record your automations. Without further ado, let's dive in. To record automations in the session view, first we tap on whatever we want to automate. We have this clip here, but we would like to automate this dry wet here on our sample. And right now there is an automation on there, so I'm going to delete this automation. Actually, I'll show you where this lives currently. If I click on the actual clip and I go into the clip viewer, this is the audio clip here. Now, if I hover and click on envelopes, we now have the envelope menu. Here we're able to see delay, which is the device that I will be affecting. Then we have our dry wet over here as our selected automation. We can also select other automation types here, so all these parameters can be automated. Here I click and I drag up and down my little points to affect where the automation lives and how it goes, whether it's here at 0% and up here would be all the way at 100%. To undo, I Command Z. So I made this little automation line. And then I can clear envelope to clear it. Now let's say I wanted to record this live with a MIDI controller or something, or my mouse even. I wanted to just record it live as how I was feeling it. So I need to make sure that the track is armed. Then I need to make sure that the automation arm is on, this button up here, while making sure that the clip I actually want to affect is selected. I press this button here, which is the session record button. It allows MIDI clips, notes, and automations to be overdubbed, which is what we want to do. We want to do the automations part. I'll start it where I want it first. So I'll start it at 0. I'll press the record on. There we go. Now it's been recorded. And if we go back to our menu, on the other side by pressing Shift Tab, or we can click down here. The shortcut to alternate between these two is Shift Tab. We can now see that our automation has been recorded. You can also MIDI map this parameter to a knob on a synthesizer that allows for MIDI language to pass through, or a MIDI controller by pressing Command M. Command M will give you the MIDI mapping control options here. Before we MIDI map, we must make sure that our controller is functioning. To get to the Systems menu, we can go the long way and go to File and go to Live and go to Settings. Or we can press Command and comma. That will bring us to the same place. Here, when we enter our tempo and MIDI section, we can hover down here to find our device. And if your device isn't found, you might have to download a driver. Editing Earhart here to remind you that every controller is different, and these settings worked for my controller. Your settings may or may not be the same, depends. So to check, to just verify and have peace of mind, type your controller model number and its make. So Korg Nano Control 1, 2, MK1, MK2. Follow up to the model number and the make, type how to set up MIDI in Ableton, and it will give you the answer right there in the screen for you. Select your input and output to be the desired MIDI input and output. In this case, it's my Nano controller. Since I'm using a Mio XL, which is a big MIDI hub, I have all the ports here as well. So just make sure that you have the track and remote set up on the input and the output. Once that's done, we should be able to press that knob again and assign it to something. Once we have it assigned, it'll pop up here in the MIDI mappings area. You'll see its CC value and what it is, its path, and what it's affecting, the dry wet. Here we can set our min and our max, so we can invert the button completely. 100% could be the opposite of what it is. So that would be like 100% wet all the way to the right, and then all the way to the left would mean 100% zero. 100% zero. It would mean all the way zero. If we do it the inverse, we can also never make it go to 100%, and we can cap the limit of the dry wet that we can apply with our knob, and that's at 40%. So now I'm going to exit out of MIDI mapping mode when I'm done. Now, when I use that knob, my maximum is only going up to 40%. If I want to go back and change that, I press Command M, change that back to 100%, Command M to exit MIDI mapping mode, and now look at us, 100%. So let's do that again. Let's say I want completely new automation now, but with my MIDI mapping. So I'm going to press this session record button while having the track armed, the one that I want to affect. And now I'm using my MIDI button. Ta-da! One more thing is that the loop itself is only 4 bars in length. So here's my automation that we were just recorded. Very beautiful. This linked button, if we unlink it, now the loop length of the actual loop is 4 bars, but we can change the automation loop so it can loop way more than 4 bars. So let's make it loop 8 times, and the end will be 9. So we always want to set our endpoint 1 bar after the total length that we choose. I'm going to delete all this automation. Since I'm already here, I can just highlight it all and press delete. And now, because we're in MIDI map mode, I don't even need to be in the other screen to control the knob. We can just do it straight from here, and I can see what I'm doing directly. So let's do that again. And now if we let it cycle all the way through, we're going to re-record everything. All right, let's say I'm happy with that, but I'm not really happy with that. I can press the B button and I can draw different automations. But you see, when I use the crayon, it aligns to the grid. So if you want to remove the grid, remember Command 4 to remove the grid. Or we can right click and turn snap to grid on or off from here manually. So let's say I just want this to continue instead. Oh, but I don't want the grid on. I want it to be more smooth. So there you have it. That's how we would record automations in Session View. Hope that helps. Good luck!